I need to ask, but that's just what you would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, you know?
And we'll start right now.
Got it? Got it? Okay.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Yes, and on this program, we often give people a chance to voice their opinions. There's so many things that we want to talk about in this world, this land, and we get right to it. And she's one of those people. She's a master of divinity and so much more. Lisa Lucia Arden joins us on the program. Lisa, how are you doing?
Just wonderful. I want to say I'm also a bestseller book, Our Need to Give to the World, Heal America, Love and God. And actually Trump and the government has used a lot of my ideas, and also Arise to God's Truth is my second book. And I also wrote a book about electrotherapy and alternative medicine, that the pulse of electrotherapy is just as soft, like a soft little heart murmur. And I write about science issues. I'm a science and philosopher, political analyst. And I do all those things. I'm so grateful that I've had this gift over a period of many years as being a philanthropist in my community and working hands-on with the people, all the way from working with the homeless and the people that are incarcerated to working as the vice president, founder of the National Charity League of Pasadena. And I'm so grateful to be here today. I wanted to say I'm here actually in Scottsdale, Arizona. The beautiful light is so bright because I know that America is being watched more than ever. America is being watched more than ever in our country because the Creator knows that there's tensions, and the Creator wants to bring peace. And that's just with any president or any leader that wants to protect America. In our America, the presidents, they believed in the presidents, believed in our Creator, in God we trust. And so we need to come together in truth and honesty toward each other without trickery and conspiracy and division. We want to love each other this season in this coming new voting presidential election, to protect our country and walk together hand in hand, whether we're Black, white, Mexican, yellow, mixed creature. Did I miss any? Is there another one? Black, white, yellow, brown, mixed. We want to all come together. And I'm here today to tell you this, but I've had a long life. It seems like a longer life because I feel like I've been able to participate in joining in to keep America free and safe and for future ahead. So
we have a piece of audio. I believe it's called "Show Us the Way to Heal Our Land." Would you like us to play that?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to that now.
Show me the way to be loved like you, oh Lord. Show me the beauty to help heal our people and our land. Show me the way. Oh, yeah. Show me the way for the people. They were blood, sweat, and tears all these years. We got to save our America. Show me the way. Show me the way. Oh, yeah. Show me the way. Oh, yeah. Show me that love so we could love each other the way you love us, oh God. Whether we're black, whether we're white, whether we're yellow or brown or mixed or green. that beauty for the healing and the beauty for our land. So our legacy lives on in the arm of your strength and loving. Give us that joy for the children and for the older who once had worked their blood, sweat, and tears. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show us the way. Whether we're black, whether we're white, whether we're yellow or brown or mixed or a creature, show us the way. Oh God, show us the way. Show us your love so we could love like you. So we could heal our land and keep a legacy in joy and happiness and freedom. Show us the way. Show us the way. Oh Lord, show us the way. Oh Lord, show us the way. Show us the way. Show us the way.
That pretty much says your viewpoint of everything, right?
You know, it's not all viewpoint of everything, because as we know, creation has it's infinitum. Here, even on Earth, we see we could correct things that have been destroyed with human justice and human intention to find the best way. But there is a God's intention to have the right way. And even if you don't believe in God, there's a scientific intention by equation that's a better way than other ways for the present, future, and past future, and even way in the future. So that's pretty not much everything. No, my ideas of show us the way is really the intention, because God is logical, just like JF Kennedy said, we separate government from God, but government's supposed to have the foundation of justice. And today I want to talk about the I was praying while you made that clip. I'm out in the beautiful sunlight of Sedona, Arizona, and today at Christmas time in all the country, when I see the USA and all the clips on the little TV, I see maybe because I'm traveling different places, and I don't usually watch TV, but the beauty of America coming together and doing so many beautiful things, all the people that served each other for Thanksgiving, that's amazing. That's amazing. And God will redeem us from our own issues, our own falling shorts, because of our goodness, and if we seek to do right. And I believe we need safety first, and safety first is funding the police and also having the military protect us that in a just way across all rectangular four corners of our country and other countries, which we'll get to that later. I talked about the geopolitical problem because I am a geopolitical specialist. Biden actually used my outline on the geopolitical problem. It was maybe 10% different. And Trump has used many of my things, and even Tulsi and Maloney has used my ideas. And it's written down because it's in the podcast.
I believe we lost you there. Your video feed just disappeared.
Yes.
I think you're back.
And I'm not trying to prove this. I want to be a part of what God has called me to do. And I wanted to say that yes, I'm sorry. The video feed, it had some problems. I apologize. For
No
some
worries.
reason, it had problems.
We got you back now.
Russia, I was helped yesterday by a subject that someone wanted me to talk about. Russia, the sanctions that we put on Russia is leaked. Okay? The sanctions we put on Russia is leaked. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's going in and out. And that means that we put sanctions on Russia, my brothers and sisters, and also America and whoever watches this, because of the war, because of the things that they did to bring a Holocaust to Hurricane. However, Switzerland, Turkey, India, Japan, and China are not carrying through the sanctions, and they're taking all the billions of dollars back, and they're not holding the sanctions. And our president is asking what we should do, and he's trying to make a change for that. That's a very serious thing. So that means we almost have enemies with those countries. That's unfair. We've done so much for those countries, and they're not following through on the sanctions. And so the ruble has gone up even more in Russia than it has before. And that means that the war will continue on. Russia will have more monies to fight against Hurricane. That's all the more that we should we should help Hurricane, but we need to watch where the funds go so it doesn't filtrate back to the Democrats. Another thing is very important is that the Christmas time is a time where we have to respect what America is about. It's written under the Judeo-Christian ethnic nation, the Constitution. But on the other hand, Judeo-Christian ethnic nation is all humanity. And that's what that song is about. What all humanity is God's humanity, and we're all important. But there's a certain way that we were created. And a lot of the people don't understand this because they don't have time or not trained. But to identify what truth is important and what the best is for a human, especially under medical purposes and sociologically as a whole, as a nation, to define what a male and female is. The first being, it's called in philosophy, is like a whole being. It's the closest to truth. And the first being is closest to truth, okay? And that means that it comes the closest way of being the best it could be. And it exists on its own. It doesn't need any interjection of scientific study or scientific change, and that's what the second being is of a transgender. Transgender is not the intended way of our humanness. And this is a very good argument. It's not sociologically I'm talking about. It's from science. A mother's womb, out of the one mother's womb comes a child, but it's a male or female. Okay, and it's a male or female. I'm sorry, someone's coming. It's a male or female, and the child comes not as a transgender individual. Okay, they come as a male or female. So it's a first substance being. They come not with their penis cut off or their boobs cut off. That's a transgender, which is the second substance of being. That means it's less truth. And it's not truth. It's a man-made idea of their biased ideology, okay? And we shouldn't put that on children, and we shouldn't put that on our country. Of course, these people, they have their ideas, so we could respect their ideas, but we don't have to follow them. We could respect them and love them, meaning and care and be compassionate, but we should not put our first funds in something like that. Our country needs to be taken care of. Many, 1 out of every 4 or 5 children are starving, and our country needs help. Many are homeless. And I believe that this is a very important point that we should look at and not spend so much time and effort. And that has to be sectioned off, where if that's what people want to do, that's their choice. But we should not supply all that in our hospitals so fully. They should have their own funding and their own ideas. We need to take care of our America. And there's a lot of problems in America right now. Many people are homeless. Many children are starving. And take care of the children that have very serious medical issues. And another thing is that I was asked as a divine message, and people like great presidents or leaders, or teachers or businessmen, they don't call it a divine message, but it is a call here of pure ideas. And my pure idea to say is that is about transgender. And I haven't heard anybody say that recently, but I can't listen to everything. But I wanted to say that there's a gift that God wants to give to America, and that is to open up the oil wells. God wants to give a gift to America to open up the oil wells, okay? To open up the oil wells to so then we could increase our business, because it's not 140,000 jobs that were lost. It was double that, because many people couldn't have jobs. They couldn't hire other people. And then it will help the inflation. And then we need to produce benefits for these companies to open up the oil wells, because they have to measure everything. They have to they have to restart everything, and that's going to be costly for the oil companies. I just met a man yesterday that he worked on the oil fields, and he says, yes, it would be so much money to call up and open up the oil wells too. So we need to give them tax benefits and preparation benefits where they have to reopen these oil wells. We need to have tax benefits for the small and large businesses, and we need to bring that back, and we need to bring our pharmaceuticals back immediately, and our states, we need to go through each state and see what needs to be fixed and what needs to be redeemed for the companies that used to produce but were taken by the products of imports that we import for China or other countries. And if China has geopolitical power, again, I want to say 10 to 30 years, there will be no exchange of business. The billionaires will not have anybody to trade business with, because I told you, as China has Russia, they trade with Taiwan. We can't let them go over. They can go through the South Seas. They have India, they have Africa, they have South America, and they also have areas of Canada and in Europe, and even us that we sell products to. So we won't have any exchanges, of any contracts. If they take all the contracts, we need to produce and export, besides business and our harvesting and other small items that we make. We need to open up our businesses again, and we need to take back our pharmaceutical companies. And we have to be concerned, because Russia makes the greatest fertilizer. They're one of the greatest companies for fertilizer. We need to make our own fertilizer, and our oils. It has been a divine message for this, and many other people have said this. We have more minerals than we in commodities in our land that anybody could ever fathom. We have this all over our country. It has to be found. I've seen this. I've seen visions, but other people have told me, and that was a new divine message. We have more minerals, more oil, more hidden minerals that are there. We need to mine our own country and use our own things and sell it to countries, to other countries, but first to ourselves. We need to make sure the billionaires, they need to actually try to buy out and buy out contracts from these contracts that China has taken, like Honduras, in Africa, in South America, and other places of Europe. They in India, because even if we have to pay a penalty for them, because they're going to make them victims, and then we won't have contracts to trade either. And this is a very important point. I don't see anybody thinking about this, because my book, Our Need to Give to the World, Heal America, Love and God, runs exactly, it was written before Trump got in, what we should do in all of the divine messages and directions, political directions. We're lined up with what Trump did to protect our country. And I know Biden, he's a Democrat, but there's no more beautiful Democratic leaders that want to put America first. For some reason, it's not just what I believe. There's facts. We're slashed at every side. We need to bring our oil wells back. That's the first thing. And then he wrote bad leases, and he should have had someone experienced there to write the leases of the oil wells. So they lost a lot of money on that, and all the leftovers of the oil he stopped, and that's like leftover soup, turkey soup that you use, and it could carry you through a whole week. And remember, the certain fuels, for airplanes and other trains and things, Russia makes. But we have the other type of oil for the automobiles, and some of our oil could be used for airplanes. But Russia is the main country to use, because I sell commodities. As a new job, I sell commodities, but I also am a tender, humble person where I have beautiful, sweet greeting cards, and I'm also because God wants me, and as a believer of love, of showing the people, to bring encouragement and hope. But I understand commodities, and I understand the global luxury hotel. I also do that as a side job. And my boss told me, Lisa, I want you to tell everybody that the Latin America, Mexico, they have a lot of money, Lisa. They're buying a lot of hotels, Lisa. He told me, because that's a new job, global luxury hotels. I studied that, and I also try to find clients to buy hotels. And that's why we need to close the borders, because China and Mexico, the Mexico drug lords are just a small amount. They sell the drugs, and they use the money, as I told you, to buy other properties around the world, other businesses, and also to buy our harvest lands for food. And also the phenolphthalein is in all the medicines, and also they put it in drugs and they sell it, and thousands of people have died. And also ISIS goes through, and now ISIS and Turkey are in trouble. Turkey and Syria in fights, and now we're going to be in more danger. We need to protect presently, I saw that on the news today, we need to protect our borders, and we need to build the borders up right away. And these are things we need to do simultaneously. And we need to prepare the leader that is going to take the 2024 presidential office, which I believe should be Trump. It's not what I believe, it's facts. They're facts, because he puts America first. And so we need to protect our borders. And there also will build nuclear bombs and nuclear projects. They'll pass it through the border and bring those. The Chinese have they worship the dragon, and that's evil. And some people don't believe there's evil and good, but there is evil. And even Reagan told us that Russia was evil. He used that word, and I know I keep on saying that over and over again, but we need to wake up, and we need to vote freedom. And in the abortion issue, we need to realize that these babies, they also use for occults, and they also use for occults babies, and they take them and use for pagan rituals. But they use most of the babies that they abort for science, as I told you. And that's why they give the children such a big platform. They use the babies for science, and we need to make sure that we teach the children and the people and offer them safe sex, not pills to kill the baby after the day of sex, but safe sex forms that they could use for protection when they have sex, and teach them about commitment, and no sex before marriage or commitment. And we need to do this, and the children need to work together, because most of them are children. A lot of them are, under 21 that have abortions, and we need to love them. If we reflect them with love, knowing that this is just part of the culture, they'll listen. And we need to bring back our education system where our children could learn about ethics, and that we could revamp it. I told you under Mr. Roberts, he was on the Congress in Texas for education. These are things we need to carry on. So the first thing we need to do is pray to God. And we've always done this in America, always. I know there's a few presidents didn't think God was important, but America is based on God's trust in us and our trust in God. And we need to vote in good ethics in our states, because the people don't read. They don't know what's right and wrong, because a lot of them even haven't had proper parenting, or they get into the culture where they believe that truth is a lie, and a lie is truth. And we need to ask these great people that are in Hollywood, the music areas, to bring more wholesome films and relationships showing that the children are first, because children have to be put first. And that's another reason why we should not have transgender first. It should be put aside, and there could be areas in certain states where it's accepted, but not monetarily and not integrated in our school system, because children are the most innocent and the most precious gift we have in on earth. Even if we don't believe in God, they are actually the greatest for substance of being. They're better than an animal. They're better than a building or money or gold. They have a better brain. Even if you don't believe like that the human body needs to be taken care of, they are the best creation. If you chose between a transgender or a real person, the real person is really more perfect, because they don't need anyone else to keep their transgenderism intact. Because I think they even have to continue sometimes take pills and hormones to stay that way. But I'm not trying to condemn these poor people are confused that are transgender, going back to that, because you know how it is when you go through life, there's always questions and temptations to go to the other way, to be gay, they call it, or lesbian. But that doesn't mean that you have to be transgender. But that is not the intended way. It's not even my way, but all the great books of God and the great books, and also the philosophical ideas, it says that that homosexuality and transgenders are secondary. It's not the purest form of what a human represents. But we know in the Greek days, there was a lot of homosexuality with men, but they didn't get transgenderism, but they didn't have probably the technology to even think of it. But that's normal to feel that way sometimes. But that's why we need to pray and ask God to direct us, because those are not the correct thoughts of a real human. But even if you believe that, okay, you want to be lesbian, you want to be gay or lesbian without transgenderism, you still need to pray and ask God to direct you to the truth of what the first substance of being is, of the true authentic being. But we need to love these people. We need to love them. I love them. Okay, they're God's humanity. But especially for transgenderism, that is completely changing what they came out to be, their mother and the father in their physical form. And then they allowed them to be in a Olympics, and they weren't male or female. They crossed
Lisa,
over.
we're just about out of time. You covered
I wanted to say thank you so much, America. We need to open up our oil wells. First, we need to pray. Everyone needs to pray and ask God to direct us, like Martin Luther King would say, or JF Kennedy. Then we need to open up the oil wells for a Christmas present for the children and for the whole America. We need to protect our borders. We need to go in to integrate and go and make sure we have tools, military tools, and use the military tools that we're given, because we had enough military tools to give to Hurricane, to protect Hurricane, but we didn't use them. We need to do that. We need to come together and protect our country and use our military tools between each area, between all the islands, and we need to build our submarines, as I told you before, and also the small submarines between each island, each country, and each state. We need to bring all our manufacturing back from China, and also our build our small businesses. There's so many small businesses we could build up very fast. And I was also told that the multimillionaires need to find someone that's working and a good people, or that needs work, that to put them back in their homes. And that would be a beautiful Christmas present. And we'll be so happy when they walk down the street and see that more are happy in living in the best well-being of what a human represents. But I know America is great, and we are just, and we're loving people, and we never give up, and we never give in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And remember, my name is Lisa Lucia Arden. I have a bestseller book, Our Need to Give to the World, and also Rise to God's Truth. My website is Lisa Lucia Arden, and also a Rise to God's Truth. And I sell greeting cards, but I also am a realtor. See, I have a normal life. It sells global luxury hotels and also commodities, but I also am a life coach. So I do that part-time on my my real estate and also my life coach. But it makes me a better life coach because I know what the CEOs need. And I've worked 20 years in the medical business with my ex-husband and counseled many lovely people and have had many miracles. So look me up. I have beautiful cards, beautiful rosaries, and I also am a life coach. And I'm also a speaker working on my speaking. Thank you so much. God bless you, America. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks for being with us. And we're happy to allow you to get your viewpoints out. And we covered a lot today. Look forward next time we get together, okay?
Thank you. And I'm in the bright sun of God's love in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Looks
Thank you.
beautiful there. Yeah, enjoy it. We'll be right back. Hang on.